the mentality they have. Anyway, this video was posted by this Colin Bloom and immediately went viral on platform X, and people started sharing, and it became a media news that like this boy, he went and picked up the flag fearlessly, because this Khalistanis, they can sometimes become violent also. So then his friends, his parents, they all called him and they said, "Oh, you've done very good thing. We are proud of you." And his parents are saying, "We are afraid for his safety, but still we are proud of what he has done." So everybody is congratulating Satyam. What you did is an excellent thing. And Satyam also said, "When it comes to the honor of my country, I will not step back." All these kind of statements. So why people are lauding Satyam? Because I'm sure there must have been other Indians also there. Nobody went forward and picked up the flag. It was only Satyam who did it. Why the others did not do? Because it's not that they did not have the sense that this is our country or something like that, but they felt, oh, if we go and do something, then maybe we'll get attacked, maybe the police will arrest us, we don't know what will happen. So better keep silent. You know how majority of the people are like that. They will keep silent, they will not say anything, they will not do anything. But this man, he disregarded his personal safety. He thought, let whatever happen, I will go and protect the honor of my country. That was his thinking. So, a person, when he disregards his own personal interest for the sake of something higher like the country, then naturally people appreciate that thing, that act. Like everybody appreciated Satyam's act. So, if somebody is thinking, no, you know, my safety is very important. So, okay, you can think of your safety, but somebody thinks beyond that. He says, I'm not bothered about my safety. The honor of my country is more important. Then that person has given up the sense of my safety and is thinking of my country. Still that sense of myness is there. One person thought of himself, another person is thinking, he is disregarding himself, he is disregarding, he is thinking of my body, he is thinking of my country. Now there may be somebody who doesn't think of his country, he thinks of entire humanity. My people, my friends, my brothers and sisters. So that is even higher. So whenever we see that, whenever the sense of minus is there, mine, this is my country, this is my body, this is my family. So we can have higher and lower feelings of this is mine. This sense of mine, in Sanskrit it is called mamata. Mama means mine. Mamata means myness. So that is called mamata. So this mamata, when it is there, we will identify ourselves with this body, with this family, with my country, with entire humankind. So, continues. Somebody goes one step higher. He thinks, my country, for my country I am ready to do anything. Like soldiers, they go to the battlefield. Sometimes they give up their life fighting for the country. So they have given up the mamata, the sense of mine, for their body, for their family. They have given up that sense of mamata for mine and my family. But that does not mean the sense of mamata goes away. It gets extended to something bigger, which is the country. And somebody may transcend even that. He may not think, what is all this country? This is my enemy country. This is my friendly country. These are all man-made boundaries. After all humans are one. So he may work for the welfare of the humankind. So he may give up even the sense of this is my country, but the sense of mamata, the sense of mine, doesn't go away. Shri Krishna, Rukmani, Satya. It gets replaced by the sense of this is my humankind. Mamata continues. So the propensity for mamata will not go away. It will continue in some form or the other. So then how did Kardama Muni become nirmamaha? How did he become free from that mamata? Actually, we all know from the previous verses we have seen how Kardama Muni engaged in devotional service. He engaged in bhakti yoga. So in the process of bhakti yoga, there are different stages of progress, different stages of development. So when we say different stages of progress or development in bhakti yoga, actually all these stages of progress can be condensed into understanding that each level of more and more progress increases the reduction in our mamata. Adau shraddha tata sadhu sangha atho bhajana kriya. So the process of bhakti, the stages of development in bhakti is given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Adau shraddha, in the beginning there is a little shraddha, there is a little faith. What is that faith? Oh, there is God. There is faith in the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gita. They are authentic scriptures. That faith is there. And some pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, when we see, oh, he is a genuine sadhu, some faith is there. Adau shraddha tata sadhu sangha. When that initially that little faith is there, what happens? It turns into sadhu sangha. One starts associating with devotees. And when our association with devotees progresses, then what happens? Then bhajana kriya, atho bhajana kriya. Then we engage in serious devotional service. That is the stage at which we decide that, yes, I want to take initiation from the spiritual master. This is how we all started our spiritual life. We had initially some faith. We would come to the temple. And then some devotee we would start talking to in the temple. He will give us one book of Prabhupada. He will give us one japamala. He will make us chant. He will invite us to the temple. So sadhu sangha. Gradually what happens? Our faith and conviction starts increasing. We start following all the principles. We start chanting. We start reading Prabhupada's books. We start following Ekadashi. So all this is bhajana kriya. So it comes to a stage where we become steady in our bhajana kriya. We become steady in our devotional service. When we become steady in our devotional service, what happens? We think I should get diksha. So we approach the devotees and say that I want to get initiated by Srila Prabhupada. I want to accept Prabhupada as my diksha guru. So we offer ourselves for diksha initiation. So when we offer ourselves for diksha, what happens? Then at that point, when we get initiated by Srila Prabhupada, what happens? That is the time when atho anartha nivrittihi syat. Anarthas, all the unwanted things in the heart will be cleansed. So what is this meaning of anartha nivritti? When we get initiated by Prabhupada, that anartha nivritti, or the washing away of the contamination within the heart, happens in two ways. One is that Prabhupada takes away. Prabhupada is our Diksha Guru. When he is giving Diksha, at the time of Diksha, what happens? He takes away all our past sinful reactions. All our millions of lifetimes we have committed so many sinful activities. All those reactions are waiting to fructify. And the reactions we have to undergo. But the moment we accept Srila Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru and we get initiated by Prabhupada, what happens? All the anarthas are washed away. Now, it's not only that the past sinful reactions are washed away. What happens when we take initiation? What is it that we commit to Prabhupada? No more meat eating, no more intoxication, no more gambling, no more illicit sex. We say 4 regulative principles we will follow. That means what? The propensity to commit the sinful activities is also destroyed. Otherwise, if that propensity continues, we will not be able to follow the 4 regulative principles. In the outside world, can somebody stop drinking coffee and tea, stop eating onion and garlic, forget about alcohol and cigarette and meat eating and all these kind of things? Can they give up this much? Oh, not possible. The price of onion in the market will go to 150 rupees a kg, but still people cannot stop buying onion and eating. Okay, onion price has gone up 150 rupees. So many other cheaper vegetables are there. Why not use that? No. People will come on the roads, they will agitate, they will create hangama. Why? Because we want onion. We cannot live without onion. See how it is. But look at us. We have no attachment to eating onion, garlic, coffee, tea, etc. These things have gone out of our life. So how? Because the propensity to commit those sinful activities are gone out of our life. So not only are past reactions nullified, even our propensity to commit sinful activities is also destroyed. So this is anartha nivritti. And after anartha nivritti, what happens? Tato nishtha ruchis tataha. Then comes nishtha. We become firmly fixed up in devotional service. We become determined that the goal in my life is to go back to Godhead. I am not interested in earning money and getting some big designation in the society and some social prestige. We become uninterested in these things. So we become, what actually happens, the nirmama is going on happening, increasing. When anartha nivritti happens, when we give up the sinful activities, what is happening? We are growing beyond the conception that I am this body. This body is mine, and whatever desires the body is putting forth, they are my desires, I have to fulfill them. We are crossing over that. We are transcending that. Then what happens when we come to the stage of nishtha? That is another level of progress in the feelings of nirmama. We are becoming free from the sense of mamata. Otherwise, these things are very important for the people in the outside world, in the material world. More and more money. I want to earn more money. This is my money. This is my house. This is my family. So we want to increase these possessions in the material world. We want our mamata to increase. My family has to increase. It's not enough that I marry a wife or a woman marries a husband. We have to have children. Then it's not enough to have children. They have to further marry. And that's not enough. Then we have to have, increase. We have to go to all our relatives and show how my family is so nice. Friends, relatives, colleagues, like this. We keep increasing the sense of mamata. And as if that is not enough, we will open one social media account and then we will try to get as many followers as possible. My followers. So, all this increasing the sense of mamata. This is mine, this is mine. But when we become nishtha, when we become firmly fixed, that my goal in life is to please Prabhupada and Krishna and go back to Godhead, what is happening? That is also going away. That sense of mamata is also reduced. Then when we become fixed up like that firmly determined that my goal in life is to go back to God and nothing else matters, then what happens? Ruchis tataha. We will develop a taste. We will start relishing the devotional service. It's no more just a matter of duty. We start experiencing pleasure in performing that devotional service. Then from that point onwards, the impetus for us to do devotional service is not rule and regulation and duty. It becomes the taste, the sweetness of rendering devotional service to Krishna, which starts impelling us in continuing our devotional service. Then what happens? Tato bhavaha. After that comes the stage of bhava. And then comes the stage of tataha prema. Prema bhyudanchati. Sadhakanam ayam premnaha pradurbhave bhavet kramaha. So kramaha, in gradually, this is the way devotees progress on the path of devotional service. So when one comes to the stage of bhava, by that time what has happened? in the Narada Pancharatra it is described, Ananya Mamata, Vishnu Mamata, Prema Sangata. So when one comes to that stage, what happens? Ananya Mamata. All our mamata for everything else on the material platform. This is my body, this is my family, this is my country, this is my humankind. All these things vanish. Ananya Mamata, but then mamata itself cannot vanish. That sense of this is mine cannot be destroyed, because that sense of I, that I am existing, cannot be destroyed, because that's the fundamental constitutional position of the spirit soul. So that cannot be destroyed. So when the sense of I cannot be destroyed, where is the question of destroying mine? That's not possible. So if the sense of this is my body, this is my family, this is my country, this is my humankind, if this is destroyed, then that is replaced by what mamata? Ananya Mamata, Vishnu Mamata. It is replaced by Vishnu is mine. Everything related to Vishnu or Krishna is mine. Why? Why this sense of this is mine comes? Just like on the material platform also. Why does a person like Satyam Surana, he risk his own life and go and pick up that flag? Why does he feel so strongly, this is my country, this is my country's flag? Because he loves his country so much. So when we love our family, we love our country, then what happens is we feel a strong sense of this is mine. So Vishnu Mamata, if our Ananya Mamata, Anya Mamata, if our Anya Mamata, if my sense of this is mine, if my sense of possession of all material things is taken away and it is replaced by sense of possession of Vishnu and everything related to Krishna, then that is possible only when there is a strong sense of love for Krishna. Prema Sangata. When we develop love for Krishna, what happens? Our sense of possession with relation to the material world and the material body is replaced by the sense of possession related to everything related to Krishna. So, Bhaktirityuchyate Bhishma Prahladodhava Naradaihi. Narada Pancharatra states, this is the definition of bhakti according to Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava and Narada and others. So bhakti means development of love for Krishna, by which we develop a sense of possession of everything related to Krishna and we give up our sense of possession of everything material. This is the definition of bhakti according to the Narada Pancharatra. So, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this is even more elaborated. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, he states that Samyang Masranita Swanto, Swa Antaha, our heart, Samyang Masranita. Masranita means when it is melted, something is melted. Samyak Masranita means completely melted. When you take a block of ice and you heat it, it will start melting. As it melts, what will happen is the water starts filling up in the vessel and then ice will start floating on the top, isn't it? And then you go on heating, all the ice will slowly melt. So initially it will be partially melted. As you go on heating, then what will happen? It will completely melt. The entire ice will be transformed into water. So, Samyak Masranita, not partially melted. When our heart, Swantaha, our heart becomes completely melted. Completely melted in what? Mamatvati Sayankitaha. This melting of the heart happens because of Atishayankitaha. Because of intense feelings of mamata. Intense feelings of Krishna, everything related to Krishna is mine. When that feeling becomes intense, our heart becomes completely melted. So, bhavaha sa esha sandratma, when we become completely immersed in that sense of possession related to Krishna, due to our heart having melted by an intense sense of that possession of everything related to Krishna, then what happens? That Sandratma, that complete immersion in that sense of in that sense of possession of everything related to Krishna, bhavaha, that kind of the mental inclination, that is called prema nigadyate budaihi. The learned people say that is the stage of Krishna prema. So the final stage in the development of Krishna consciousness, beginning with Shraddha or a little faith, Bhakti has to culminate in Krishna prema. And what is Krishna prema? Krishna prema, how beautifully Srila Rupa Goswami has defined this in the Nectar of Devotion in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That sense of love of Krishna means our heart has to be completely melted and immersed in that sense of intense feelings of possession of everything related to Krishna. Isn't this true? Just like you take the example of a mother. How do we know that the mother loves the child? How much she intensely feels, this is my child. We understand that much the mother loves the child. If the mother thinks, oh, this is not my child, let him be there, whatever happens to him, I am not bothered. What we say? This mother has no love for the child. If the mother is constantly thinking, like Yashodama is thinking of Krishna, oh, my son, what will happen if it doesn't drink my milk? He will fall sick. He will become malnourished. I have to feed him. Oh, he is going along with the cows and the calves. Something may happen to him. He may get hurt. He may get injured. So she is constantly thinking, what will happen to my child? What will happen to my child? She is intensely immersed in that sense of Krishna is mine. He is my child. She doesn't bother about anything else. She cannot even see how Krishna is so powerful. He is killing Putana. He is killing, what is that Asura who took him in the sky? Trinavarta. Hardly Krishna was 6 months old, 1 year old. And even at that age, he is able to very easily kill these big demons. But Yashodamai cannot see this at all. She is only thinking, oh, somehow Narayana has protected my child. Some miracle, my child got protected. Because her heart is completely melted and immersed in the feelings of Krishna is my child. She cannot think of Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. This is Krishna prema. This is the definition of prema given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So therefore, when it is stated that Kardama Muni became Nirahankritir Nirmamashta Nirdvandvaha, when he became Nirahankritihi, he became without false ego, does not mean that he lost the sense of I am a person. No, that sense of I am this body is replaced by that ahankara continues. Not that ahankara is completely destroyed, but it is replaced with the real ego that I am eternal servant of Krishna. Similarly, Nirahankritir Nirmamaha, he became Nirmama. Nirmama does not mean completely destroy oneself and merge into the absolute, into the impersonal Brahman. No. Nirmama means our sense of mamata towards this body and this material possessions is replaced with Vishnu mamata. So this is the stage of real Krishna prema. And when one comes to that stage, what happens? Pratyak prashanta dhir dhiraha prashantormir ivodadihi. Like the ocean is never agitated by its waves. So Prabhupada mentions how the same example is given by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad-gita also. In the Bhagavad-gita, in the 2nd chapter, it is stated that Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sashantimapnoti na kamakami. So Apuryamanam achala pratishtham. Apuryamanam means the ocean is always filled with water. Isn't it? You would never find ocean has become dry. Rivers may become dry, but ocean never becomes dry. Even if there is a big drought for years together, the whole country may be parched, there may be no water anywhere, but the ocean will still be filled with water. It's not possible for the ocean to go dry. So therefore, Apuryamanam, the ocean is always filled with water. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham, but the ocean maintains its boundary. Rivers sometimes flood, but the ocean never floods. During the rainy season, the rivers start flooding and they will inundate different villages and different cities. But although all the rivers coming to the ocean may be flooding, ocean will still maintain its boundary. It will not cross its boundary. Samudramāpaha pravisanti yadvat. The rivers are constantly full. The water from the rivers is constantly emptying into the ocean. But the ocean never goes beyond its boundary. The ocean is unagitated. It is as it is. And no matter how much amount of the rivers may dry and the water may stop coming into the ocean remains as it is. The ocean doesn't recede. It maintains its boundary. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudram pravishanti yadvat. Similarly, tadvat kamayam pravishanti. Similarly, a devotee who has become nirmama, for him, the forces of material nature may continue. The material desires may pop up in the heart from time to time. But the desire in him to fulfill those desires is no more there. So these two are separate things. One is the body and our body and mind. From time to time, it pushes us with some desire for sense gratification. Some idea of sense gratification is brought out by our mind and by our body from time to time. So, because we are not nirmama, because we are firmly convinced that this is my body and this is my mind, whenever such desires come up, we have the propensity to fulfill those desires. And when those desires are not fulfilled, what happens? We feel frustrated, we feel despondent, sometimes we feel agitated, angry. We want Khalistan. Why Indian government is not allowing us to have Khalistan? We get angry, we get violent. Why? Because of the bodily conception of life, because thinking this body is mine. So we have the propensity to fulfill those desires. On the other hand, when we become nirmama, when we overcome that sense of possession of everything material, what happens? Kamayam pravishanti. Those desires may pop up. They may come out in our mind, but the propensity to fulfill that desires does not exist. That propensity is taken away. Why? Because the consciousness is immersed in Vishnu Mamata. That Krishna is mine. What pleases Krishna is what I want to do. So the devotee is constantly thinking, what is Krishna's desire? His propensity is not to fulfill his own desires. His propensity is to fulfill Krishna's desires. Just like you see Arjuna in the beginning of the Bhagavad-gita, what was his desire? His mind gave him the desire that I should not fight. But Arjuna asked Krishna, what do you want, Krishna? I want to know. And when Krishna said, I want you to fight and kill all your relatives, then Arjuna said, yes, I will do. Why? Because Arjuna's propensity is not to fulfill his own desire. Arjuna's propensity is to fulfill Krishna's desire. On the other hand, Krishna himself, as well as great personalities like Dronacharya, Bhishmadev, Vidura, all these personalities advised Duryodhana, don't engage in this battle. See? Arjuna, nobody told Arjuna, don't fight. Right? But Arjuna was feeling, I should not fight. And Krishna was telling him to fight. Opposite. Whereas Duryodhana, everybody was telling, don't fight. But he was telling, I will fight. So you see, Duryodhana was determined. My desire should be fulfilled. Whereas Arjuna was thinking, I want to fulfill Krishna's desire. This is the propensity, difference in propensity between Duryodhana and Arjuna. Duryodhana's propensity is, I want to fulfill my desire. Arjuna's propensity is, I want to fulfill Krishna's desire. Although they have their respective desires. Duryodhana's mind is giving him is impelling him that he should fight. Whereas Arjuna's mind is impelling him he should not fight. But Arjuna is more interested, what is Krishna's desire? So this propensity, Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sa shanti mapnoti. When our propensity to fulfill our minds and bodies' desires is replaced with the propensity to fulfill our Guru, Srila Prabhupada's and Krishna's desire, then sa shanti mapnoti, we become peaceful. Na kama kami. A person who constantly nurtures the propensity to fulfill the desires which are brought about by his own mind and body, he can never be peaceful. The more one increases the sense of mamata, the more one becomes disturbed. The more one becomes sashanti mapnot, he becomes ashanta. That is why you see, the more the material science and technology and economy is improving, the more people are becoming disturbed. Recently, there was a survey. In India, they did a survey of the mental health issues. The cases of mental health issues are increasing in India, and especially among younger people. And that is how we have cases of students committing suicide in Kota, in IITs, etc. A survey was conducted to find out what are people's thoughts about these mental health issues. Vast majority of the people, I think about 60 or 80% of the people or something like that, they all said that the reason for increasing mental health issues, people going into depression, having suicidal tendencies and all this, is because of the current fast-paced lifestyle. You see, people are also able to see that when we are increasing the economic development and the development of science and technology, what is happening? Our mental health issues are also increasing. Our mental health is also degrading. That is exactly what Krishna is saying here in the Bhagavad-gita, that Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sa shanti mapnoti na kama kami. The more we increase the facilities for fulfilling the desires which are being put forth by our body and mind, the more we will lose our peace. The more we will become ashanta. If we need shanti, if we need peace in our life, then we have to give up our sense of this is mine, sense of possession in this material world. We have to become nirmama and we have to become Vishnu mamata. Then we can become peaceful in our life. And so actually, few more things that about Kardama Muni, it is described. Nirahankritir nirmamasta nirdvandvaha samadrik swadrik. So Kardama Muni became freed from false ego of material identity. He became free from material affection, nirmamaha, and nirdvandvaha, he became undisturbed, and samadrik, he became equal to everyone without duality, nirdvandvaha, and swadrik, he could see himself also. So the same thing is explained by Krishna in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad-gita, where he says, Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitraha karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukha sukha kshami. You see, practically the same thing. Santushtaha satadam yogi yatatma dhridanishchayaha mai arpita mano buddhiryo mad bhakta same priyaha. So Krishna says, one who is not envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities. That means he is equal to everyone, samadrik, as it is stated in Kardama Muni's case. Who does not think himself a proprietor, nirmamaha, which is the same thing stated here. Who is free from false ego, nirahankritihi, which is mentioned in today's verse. and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me. He is very dear to me. So, when, when it is stated about Kardama Muni that he became unaffected by false ego of material identity, he became Nirahankritihi, he became free from material affection, Nirmamaha, undisturbed, equal to everyone, and without duality, means he became Nirdvandva, and he became Samadrik. He could see himself also Swadrik. What we have to understand, he did not merge into Brahman, or he did not become a Jnani, realize that I am not different from Brahman. On the other hand, his mind and intelligence are in agreement with me, Krishna says. His mind and intelligence became in agreement with Krishna. That means instead of Mamatva, he replaced his Mamatva with Vishnu Mamata. And so therefore, this position of being Nirdvandva, Nirmama, Samadrik, Swadrik, all these things are possible for a devotee who renders devotional service to Krishna. And Kardama Muni also is executing Bhakti Yoga, and therefore we see all these characteristics which are developing in him. So we'll stop here. If there are any questions or comments, we can discuss. Anybody? Everybody has become Nirdvandva and Nirma. Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.